So, hi everyone, I am Parampreet Singh. I am a Python developer and ML enthusiast. I am doing this iitm-bs degree standalone. I am in the end of diploma level, and today we will be having our MAD 1 session, App Dev 1 session, the basically end term revision session where we will go through the PYQs, okay, the last year PYQs, and plus like I will share some tips and all for the app dev 1 subject, and we will mainly focus on the coding part of the app dev 1, like the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Flask, and Jinja. Okay, we will not be covering the theory concepts like base conversion or the theory about how web development started and all the things. Okay, so first we will go through these PYQs, and in the meanwhile, in the PYQs only, if you guys get any kind of doubt or something, you can just interrupt me in between and we'll discuss that. Okay. Uh, so sounds good to everyone. And this obviously, I'm recording this session, and um, as always, if you have attended my earlier sessions like of MLP or Python one, like I upload the recording in my YouTube channel. So I'll upload the recording in my YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. You guys can like just search for Parampreet Singh Python or something, and I'll drop the link as well. And yes, this session is in collaboration with GIR House. So thanks to GIR House and especially Vignesh for the collaboration. So okay. And guys, just one thing, please be interactive क्योंकि मेरा तो कोर्स हो गया मैड वन. Okay, this session is for you all. So I want you all to like give answer, and like let's make it a more of a discussion session rather just like a lecture based normal session. Okay, so okay, I should open that in VS Code. Let me open the PDFs in VS Code. Okay, first one, second one, and this is a print. This is okay, the last one is left. Yes, so we have like all the PYQs and all. Okay. So let's start. Let me just search app dev. Okay, so just before starting, how many of you have like done lab assignments of MAD 1? You like, even if you have copied it, obviously it's important to submit those assignments, right? How many of you have done it on your own? That's the main thing. कोई भी एक भी इनफैक्ट अगर किया हो तो. All right, so only one. That is very strange. Okay, two. Great. Okay, so okay, apart from that, are you all clear with the basics of HTML, CSS, and Python? Because I am expecting that at least you guys know the HTML, like the head tag, body tag, and basic simple tags, and similarly for CSS as well, plus the Python Flask part. Okay, like how to create routes, how to initialize your project and all. Okay, great. So yes, this is just the prerequisite. Okay, so let's start with this PYQ. First we'll start with this Jan 2024 term. On April 28th we must had the exam. So the first question, the question is, from string we are just importing the templates from string as well as from Jinja too, and then we are accepting a command line argument, and we have some dictionary. We are creating a template, and based on like the input what user has provided, we are creating a template and rendering it kind of. Okay, so we are printing the final output. Okay, So can anyone tell me this line? Okay, if I go line number 4 or 5, this where equals sys dot argv, what it is doing? Can anyone tell me? Okay,
It is just a program name.
it is.
Program name.
Hmm. Okay, program name. And what's the program? Okay, so I hope we should have, yes,
Here it is app.py.
app.py. Yes, so we have app.py. This is the program name, and then we are like accepting other like 1 and 2 as well. So in where we will have the name which is app.py, right? So first, just tell me which condition will be like which code block will run, the if part or the else part?
Else part.
Else part. In where we will have app.py. Okay, sys.argv is mainly it is used for like accepting the command line argument, whatever arguments we pass after the Python keyword, like when we run our Python code. So app.py comes in the, like, argv is a list, okay, of arguments. So the first argument at 0th index is the file name itself. Then we have other arguments. So like here we have total 3 arguments, app.py 1 and 2. Okay, now where is storing the file name, and based upon that, let's just ignore these 2 lines as of now. If we see the if else block, the else block will be executed, right? Because where is not equals to 1, it is app.py. Now the main thing comes. So okay, in else block we are using the template from Jinja 2. Again, very simple thing. So what we are doing is we are rendering this template uh, using Jinja 2, like the notations of Jinja 2, and we are like taking these kinds of we are taking this data to like update our template to render it, and to uh, place the values in these placeholders like var1, var2, var3, var4. So can anyone tell me like what will be the output, or which variable will
App.
be like what are the placeholders will work here for this else condition?
Yes. For this, only var1 and var4 will be work.
Okay, yes.
And this $var2 and $var3 will not
Mhm.
applicable here.
Okay, what about others? um are you guys clear with this, or like anyone has any confusion or
Yes.
something? Okay, so okay, Vishwas, no worries. So this template mainly when we use Jinja na, so we are using template from Jinja. Okay, uh, in Jinja, whenever we add a placeholder or something, like we are having a placeholder here in 2 curly braces. Okay, whenever we write something within 2 curly braces of a Jinja template, that is considered as a placeholder. So the value of var1 will be substituted here. Okay, so and we are passing the data here. That data is a dictionary, just the keys and values. So for var1 key, the value is data scientist, so it will be parsed here, and similarly for var4. And why not var2 or var3? Can anyone explain? Yes, var4 also. Can anyone tell why not var2 or var3?
Yes. Because
Mhm.
they are not even in formatted string, as well as they are not part of this Jinja template
Right,
system.
they are for the string template, which is like we are using as alias make template, right? um yes, we can see that obviously. And then what will be the final output for this?
Data scientist create $var2 code
Hmm.
with $var3 knowledge
Knowledge
to
to
create
create
insight.
insights.
Insight.
Okay, so is it clear to you all? The option will be obviously this fourth one. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. All right, guys, if you get any kind of confusion, just ask. Okay, if it is clear, then please give, like, you can respond in chat, you can give the reactions or something, anything. Okay, great. Now next part. This is interesting. We are now directly into the Flask one. So can anyone just explain me what this code is doing? Except Bhanu Pradap, he has already discussed. Anyone? आप में से काफ़ी लोगों ने लैब असाइनमेंट्स तो करे ही होंगे, इवन इफ यू हैव कॉपीड इट, चेंजेस तो करे ही होंगे. ओके, ऑल राइट. ओके, सो व्हाट ऐप डॉट राउट डू, ये कोई बता सकता है? ओके, all right, let no worries. So this Flask, this code of Flask, what we are doing here is we are importing the Flask, we are creating a Flask app, okay, and then we are creating a two routes, okay. So in Flask we create routes like whatever the URLs we can say, okay, like in Meet we have just the domain name and then the code of the Meet, okay. Then the first route is /home/ some URL, and the second is /home. Again it is a URL, but the first one was of string type and the second one was of path type, okay. Now there here comes a like little bit difference. So can anyone explain like what is the difference in this string URL and path URL?
In the path between the strings, we can have multiple slashes.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be the whole path,
Mm-hmm. App dot
and
route.
string will be a single string without slashes.
Okay, without that backslash.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. uh so app dot route use make URLs depends upon, yes, depends upon choice of user data type, okay. So consider the following, it is running on port 5000, which of the following URLs will throw a 404 error? Don't see the like error like the correct answer or something, let's just go one by one. So will throw a 404 not found error, okay. The first one will be execute, okay. If the first one we enter this URL in the browser, then what will happen, what we will get as in response?
We will get modules plus URL.
um, Modules plus URL,
Yes.
are you sure?
It will trigger def get URLs str.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but it is returning string and then URL, right? Okay, uh, let's run this then. Let's to be sure about it. I hope I
There is a
have.
confusion in this part. Like when we take
Mm-hmm.
inputs from the command prompt, and sometimes we give commands from the link itself. So,
Mm-hmm.
what is the syntax and what is the difference between these two types?
Okay, just a second. Okay, now can you please ask again?
So, sometimes in a function we use
Mm-hmm.
from the command line,
Right.
and sometimes we get inputs from the URL link
Mm-hmm.
of the user. So, like, what is the syntax difference between it? Can you please explain it once?
Okay, for command line, if we take, if you are taking input from command line, like in command line, first way is the passing the like command line
System.out.
arguments, right? This
Yes.
argv, argc, right? And
Yes.
the second is like we are taking the input, we are calling input function, okay. And here we
Input
are,
function.
yes, input function. Um,
What do you mean by that?
okay, in Python we call input function to take input from user, right? In command line.
Okay, okay, okay.
So that is like from accepting values from command line, like let's say if you are taking a name from user or anything, and that is different, and this is what we are doing here, like the kind of you, we can say the dynamic URL, like this string URL which we are passing here, this will be dynamic, right? Home will stay there, um, but then whatever the value we will get here in the path of the URL, this whole URL, that will be passed into this function, and then we can use in this function, and after like so on and so forth. So if I like just let me do code fast a little bit. App.route / home / string URL. Okay, def get URL string URL and return string plus URL. The same we will do here for other one, which is path, right? Let's run this code. Okay, so I can like if name main, okay, and python3 main.py. Okay, we are getting an error.
You did not change the definition name for the second one.
Oh, definition. Okay, where exactly?
Line 10.
In the second route. In the second route.
In the
Function,
second round.
function name.
Oh yes, function name. Sorry. A very roofing mistake. Okay, so we have this. Oh, all right. It will open in. Let me close the Firefox. Let me just copy it. Now we have the like URL here. Okay, so if we type /home, nothing will work as of now. Now if we type, let's take the first option directly, modules. Okay, we are getting string modules, and how it is happening? Can anyone explain? Like, okay, let me zoom in. So this is what we are getting as the return value. So this is happening like because we are passing just like as Anmol, you had explained, right? uh, about if we pass in just normal string without without backslash, then it will be considered as the string, and get URL string function will be called. Okay, the first route will be used. So this is what is happening. Now for the second one, if we do slash module chapter 1, okay, this will this work, the second one, if we run this?
Can we see the code once?
Okay, this is the code. The URL is, if I show you, URL is mostly /module /chapter 1. Yes. So we'll directly get 404, right? Because this does not exist. So if we see here as well, we are getting 404. Okay. Obviously, this
But
will
why
return.
is it happening? Because it's a path, right?
It's a path, but we have not defined that path. We are
Oh,
taking the path only after home path, right? The like the home, we are following the home URL, the prefix we can say. Then after that home, whatever we are passing, that will either be considered as a string or the path. Okay, so default path is we say this slash, right, which also we call it as a index path, right? So default is this one. After that, if we write anything, let's say my name or anything, we'll get a 404 only. But if we write home, and if we only write home, then also it will give 404. Why it will give 404? Because for only home path we have not specified anything, we have not created a route. But after home path, we have like created two routes. The first one is for handling string, and the second for path. If we write normal module, it will give us string, and if we write, let's say, module and mad one, then it will be considered as a path. And why it is considering? Because we are having slash here, okay, in the URL, and that is making it a path, not a string. Okay, so this is just a the difference. Are you guys clear with this?
but whatever
Okay.
you typed right now, it worked, and the second
Mm-hmm.
option didn't work.
Mm-hmm. It didn't work because we have, okay, the base URL here. Can you see? The base
Yes.
URL here is home for both of the routes, and we have not created like any URL for like the you can say the overall base URL. Like we have not created any index URL. Like we create something like this, right? app.route slash something. Okay. And for this, if we create normal hello world or something, and now if we run this,
Yeah,
okay.
this one is clear, but
Mm-hmm.
whatever you typed right now, for
Mm-hmm.
that also we didn't define, right? Home
Uh-huh.
module slash mad one. It worked.
Mm-hmm. Home module and slash mad one. It works. Okay.
Yes, this works, but the
Mm-hmm.
second option didn't work. I am
This
confused.
because we have not specified home here,
Oh,
right?
home. Correct, correct, correct.
That
Understood.
is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Understood.
And the third one, it will obviously it will work because we have like provided the home as in the base, right? So is it clear to you all?
Yes.
Okay, what about others? Is it clear, guys? I
Okay,
don't
this
mean
third
to.
one will, I think, fire the second function, right?
Right. It will call the second route, the path one. Okay. Because
Okay.
after a string, we are not providing only the string, we are providing a whole path after home, right? Library slash module slash chapter slash one. And the fourth is
Hmm.
none, which obviously is not.
So anything that contain this forward slash considered as a path,
Right.
not a string, right?
Right. Right. Okay. Now we have the next question. From Flask, we are creating a Flask app. We are handling both the methods get and post. Can anyone explain what's the difference in get and post? I know this is a theory question, but it's like more practical.
Yes. In
Post
get,
is when we are like getting some input, and get is the default one.
Okay. Anyone else?
in the using the get, we fire all requests in the URL portion.
Mm-hmm.
If we use this post method, it is hidden by the any viewer and it
Mm-hmm.
is fired behind the scene.
Mm-hmm. So whenever we do a
Then
request, okay, this mainly follows like the you can say RESTful structure. Okay, RESTful API structure we can say. So whenever we do requests, there are mainly broadly four types of requests. There are other types of requests as well, but broadly we use get, post. What are the rest two? Get, post,
put,
put. Yes,
fetch, delete.
get, post, put, and
Put,
delete. Patch is
fetch,
also there, and there are like others as well. Broadly, there are four, which is which are mainly used for CRUD operations, right? And get is for reading the data. Post is for anyone
for writing the data.
for yes for creating something for writing the data or something. Okay. Whenever we're creating the data, we do a post request, and whenever we are updating the data, then we do
Put.
put, right? And when we are deleting the data, we use delete method or the delete request. Okay. And by default, which method is defined if we do not set any method? Like here
Just
in this
get,
case, get. It will be
get.
by default get. Like we are reading whatever response we are getting, right? So we are asking for some response. We want to read that like response after making the get request. Okay. So now we are accepting both get and post. The function is this show details. We are taking the arguments from the user, and then we are creating a details dictionary of stream, roll number, course. Okay, this is what is happening. And now we are running this. Which of the following URLs will be handled by the controller correctly? Okay, now if we do the first one, so what will happen here? Why it is wrong answer? You all can see the URL, right? Should I zoom it a little? Okay. Once yeah, that is enough. Well, let's keep it. What about the first one? Why this is wrong? We are
The path is incorrect. We didn't define this path. Student is missing.
right, the student is missing. And okay, that's why the second one is correct. And then for the third one, again we are not having the student. And what about fourth one? We are having student,
We
right?
we having a
It is
student, but
extending the path and
further,
not getting the inputs.
Right.
right.
We are so basically no, that is not the correct reason. The correct reason is we have not defined these paths, slash data science slash CS101 or something. Okay, we have defined path till student. Okay, so the path error will be there, not like the input error. So in get request, the input parameters are optional. Okay, so how many of you have visited Amazon website or something? I guess all of you, right? Well, that
Right.
is, I can give you the very, let's say I search for something, let's say 16 GB RAM, a very basic thing. I go to some Amazon link and let me open this in Amazon. So now I am opening this link. So see, we have the URL something like, if I show you, so this is the URL which we are having. Okay, till this we are having the path, and this is what the parameter we are passing. If we set, okay, so this is kind of a like required parameter for this search bar, but let's say let me copy, go to this one. Yes, this is better. So let me copy this path. So for this RAM one, okay, like we are getting this particular whole big path. Okay, so now if we see, if we want to break this part, like the whole URL into several parts, what we can see here is till this only we are having the actual path. Apart from that, this whole thing, this is the just the parameters we are passing here, the same parameters which we were having here, like the department, data science, roll number, or the arguments. Okay, in the request we can say. So if we, even if we do this again, we will get the same
Uh,
result. Okay.
one thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the line number font, there is a no question mark appended before this ref.
Where before
Yes, before area. There
here,
should be a percent. There should be, yes. There should be a question mark, but it is absent. So how can it is an
okay,
argument?
see, question mark will come there if we have like, if we're going for the same path itself. If like, if I want to, the path is still this d, okay, I don't know the exact this some id, this is some id. Okay, if the path is defined till this id, then we need a question mark. But this is the whole, like we have created a separate route for this. Okay, so that is the difference. So we are creating a route, then we don't need that question mark and the other things and all. Okay, and then we are having other parameters and all the things.
So what is this ref is equal to SR1?
These are parameters. The ref is parameter, dib is parameter, and all the other keywords, this and this, these are the parameters. Okay.
Okay. So here is only a small confusion.
Yes.
I always thought that parameter start from this question mark.
Sometimes not. This is just like practice. As much as we practice, we get to know more about this.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Thanks.
So I hope you all are clear with this. So many times when you share some Amazon link with your friends or someone, you might see like a long path you will get, right? But even if you share till this now, you will get the same result. This is just for like some their analytics and all. Okay. Yes, this will be uploaded to YouTube. Okay, in my YouTube channel. So yes, now let's move forward. Which of the following is not a front-end framework? This is just a basic thing. If you have any idea, you guys can easily answer it. By the way, one of the framework you will be using in MAD 2, AppDev 2. Anyone knows which one?
Yes, I use that bootstrap.
No, one of the framework from this list
Fra-
you will be using in MAD 2,
No,
AppDev 2.
I okay, Med too. I haven't
Yes.
do Med.
Anyone has any idea? Okay.
I think they will use this React.js.
Vue.js,
Okay.
not
In
React.
our course, it is Vue.
Vue.js they will use, like you will use Vue.js in the whole mat2, and in mat2 project also you need to use Vue.js. Now the next one, this is just a theory question, we can skip it. This is also, now we came to the ORM. What is ORM? Anyone?
Object Relational Mapper.
Mapping. Okay, this is the full form, but what ORM does do actually?
It is actually do the mm, mm, it give us a opportunity to write models as a class and object.
Okay.
So anything we do
Mm-hmm.
with the object, it is reflected directly with the models,
Okay.
the tables and
Okay.
databases.
So ORM, object relational mapping. Okay. The name itself is saying what it do. Okay, object relational mapping. In okay, you all have like, you all have done DBMS, or you are doing DBMS? Okay,
Yes,
guys,
we are
I
doing.
want response. Okay, DBMS. So there is another name for tables we have in DBMS, and there is a kind of algebra also there in the DBMS course. Anyone knows? The name is a
Relational
bit
algebra.
relational, relation. Okay, we call a table a relation. Okay, so the ORM is object relational mapping. It basically maps the tables, the relations with the objects in our code. Okay, so in our programming languages we do not have some table, some kind of this thing. Okay, specifically for Python and JavaScript and these languages, what we have here is objects. Okay, so then we map these objects with the table, so that like here we have created these two objects, the classes mainly, the models, we also call them as models, section and book. So these two will be created in the, like in the database. If you see, like if you set all the database, if you create the database file, whether it's SQLite or anything, if you create a database connection, you will see two tables will be created. One of them will be section and the other will be book. The table name we have specified here. One will have the table name section table, and the other will have book table. And whatever variables we define under this each class, like each class, or let's say each model, that will be the columns we will be having in our table. Okay, in our actual table. So we don't need to actually write SQL queries, select star from something. We can directly work with these classes. Okay, and which class we are using at the base? We are using this declarative base, and this is from SQL Alchemy. Okay, so this declarative base, this will provide us like all the required functionalities. How can we query through the table? How can we apply the filters, like the where clause we have the group by clause, right, in the SQL. So we can do all of them, but in a programmatic way, not in the SQL queries way. So this is what ORM helps us. Okay.
But to use filter by and etc. We don't use declarative base all the time, is it?
Mainly we use the object directly, like section dot query dot filter by. Okay,
Yes.
so yes, this is the thing. And okay, now they are asking in the code snippet below what should come in
I
place
have an,
of
I have
code
a, I
1
have
and
a
code 2.
related question.
Mhm.
When we use section, we always say db.section. db is a variable, or like it has to be default?
No, db is the file which we are referencing to. Like we create db.py or database.py or something. Okay, you can
Okay.
directly import, like from db import section, then you can directly use section dot query dot filter by something. Okay.
Okay.
Now we need to write some code here for code 1 and code 2, these two comments, such that one book can have multiple sections. Okay, so one book can have multiple sections. So this is a kind of a code we need to write. Now okay, I can't zoom it much. I hope it is clear. This is visible, right? Now you guys tell me what will come in the code 1 and code 2. The code 1 is for the section table and code 2 is for book table. Like we want one book can have multiple sections. Okay. You know the concept about foreign key, right? In DBMS, I hope you all know. We create a section ID kind of a foreign key in our book table that will helps us reference to the section table. Okay, so the same way, like we are creating the section ID here in the fourth option and in the second option. Then we are creating a relation, kind of we are just specifying the relation that books equals relation section and books equals like relation book. Now there is a like one of them is correct and one of them is well, first and third are incorrect. Why? Because we need to access sections from book. Okay, so in book, in code 2 we need to create a like foreign key. Okay, so the code 2 is clear. Now in code 1, in the section table we need to define a relation, like who will access the section table. Okay, who can make some relations with the section table. So book will need to create the relations. Okay, now if you see okay.
So if it is a one to many relationship, one should have the one should have the foreign key, is it?
If it is one to many, so what is the one here, you tell me.
One is book.
Okay, and we'll be having many section in that.
Yes. So the
Yes,
relationship should be defined in one.
right. um okay. um we will be having one book can have multiple sections, so one to many. Okay, can have multiple sections. So if we see, okay, I cannot like draw it as of now, I don't have the pen tab. Okay, if we see here, okay, book ID, in the code when we are creating a foreign key for the book table, not for the sections table. Okay, there is one to many, I got confused in this part. Now what we are doing here is we are creating again the one to many relationship. Each section like okay, each book can have multiple sections. Okay, and not the converse way. And like what the opposite we can say, like a section belongs to some book, right? Can we say this? um like a section belongs to, like we have section name, let's say technology, computer science, Python. Okay, and we have some book, let's say the book name is mad one. Okay, then we can say a book of mad one is having three sections, like is in the three sections, the section technology, the section Python, the section technology. So in the section we need to define the foreign key for the book that like this book will be having this section. So the book table ID, that means the ID for some book, let's say the book is mad one, so that mad one will be having the technology section, and same way we create another section that is like technology or Python. Okay, and that we can reference here. I'm like giving you all this the example in a very like theoretical way, not in some okay, I hope um okay, just give me a second, let me connect pen tab, that will be better. Um, Okay, just a second. And thank you for the patience, guys. बस हो गया. Okay, can someone tell me how many till now? We have covered not many questions. We have covered only like 5 to 6 questions. So okay, now let me open the explained row. That will be better. So what we are doing here exactly is we are having a okay, we are having a table named section. Okay, this is table section, and we are having another table book. And the thing is, they are saying one book can have multiple sections. That means one book can have multiple sections, something like this, one to many relationship, right? You all can see the whiteboard, right? Or should I zoom in?
Yes, you can see.
Okay, now is it clear? Is it visible?
That is
Now let's say we have a book named Mad One. Okay, the subject we can take, and we have 3 sections. Technology, we have Python, and we have uh, another some section, let's say the Python we have, and a section for HTML. Okay, so the mad one will belongs to all of these 3 sections, right? Can we say this? This is just like depends based upon our mad one subject. We can say this, you know, mad one will consist of all the 3 sections. And now we need to define the relationship, like each section will be having like they are saying one book can have multiple sections. That means in a book we will have some sections, section 1, section 2, section 3, and so on and so forth, section n. Okay, but one section will have only one book. Okay, so that's why we need to create a book. Here we need to reference the book, whatever the book we are using. So we are referencing that book id in each section. That means the Python section will have only the book name, the mad one. Okay, and the like multiple sections can have a single book, but one section cannot have multiple books. They have created in this opposite manner just to confuse us. Okay, but the thing is that one book can have multiple sections, and so that's why for a section we need to define that book. We need to create the link of this. Okay, so that's why we are creating a link that each section will contain some book. Okay, and that is what we are referencing here. Book id, column integer, that is we are creating a foreign key for a book, that the section Python will have a book named mad one. Okay, and the section technology will have a book named mad one. So this is how we are creating the relation, and the section HTML also will have the book name mad one. So this is how we are creating this relation, and in the book we need to specify the relation, what like to whom we are relating this table. So that is what we are doing. We are creating a relation with the sections one. So this is a simple, you can say, uh, the main thing was to understand what the architecture is, what the architecture of the database is, what we are doing. Is it clear? I hope now it must be clear. Okay, how many of you like are clear with this one? Okay, 1 2. All right, this is just they have created provided us the question in the opposite manner. Generally one section can have multiple books, but we have multiple sections for a single book. That is something weird, which is why I guess we are getting confused. So that was the issue. But if you watch this part again, you will get the whole idea what we are doing exactly. Okay, and again the same thing you can do in pen and paper in your end term. That will help you a lot to understand the relations and other thing. Okay, now let's move on to next question. So now comes the HTML CSS part. We are having a Flask route, the index route, we are rendering index.html, and we are passing a data, a list of Harry, Carl, John, and like some names. We are running our code and we are having this index.html. Can anyone explain if we like create this index.html file and run our server, what will happen?
I haven't seen this macro keyword.
Yes, macro. This is also something new. Let's see. A macro in Jinja 2. Macros are similar to functions. We use them to encapsulate. Okay. Where is macro? Macro input name. Macro can be something, I guess. Okay, and macro. This is macro are comparable functions in regular. Okay, so we are creating macro is kind of a way to create functions in Jinja. Okay, got it. So macro is kind of a way we are creating a function named unordered list. Okay, so similarly, how we create functions in Python, def index, we are creating a function in Jinja named unordered list. Okay, where we are passing a list and then we are entering some HTML inside that. So like we have first created this function and then we are calling this function. Okay. Now is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now you guys tell me like what will be the what will render in the HTML? Basic flow आप बस थोड़ा सा बता सकते हो like with the data.
Macros are used in HTML, not Jinja, right?
XML, no, it is used in Jinja.
It's a tag.
Macro is not a tag. Macro is we are using macro in Jinja.
It will
I
output the
don't know
list of
about
this array
XML.
called.
Like I don't know like in XML we use macro or not, but in Jinja we are using it. Yes. So what is the like? What will be the output, or
Output.
we can say like what will render here?
Yes, it will render the list of this Harry, Carl, John, yes, and
Okay,
this in as a unordered list.
as in unordered list, that is fine, but there is a condition as well,
And this
right?
one is fine because these are less than or no, greater than or equal to 5, so they are fine.
Okay. Then what items will be rendered?
I can will render this inside this data. All Harry,
All the
John,
items or some items?
Harry and
all
Jason.
of
Harry and Jason. Okay. Why the Harry and Jason will be rendered? Because we are having this condition here. Whenever
okay,
like we need to call some function in Jinja, some let's say some Python kind of a function. Like in Python we have len, but in Jinja we have length. So we call this, we first specify that variable or like upon which we need to call the function. Okay, then we specify the pipe operator just above our enter key in our keyboard. Then we like provide the length, or in string we use upper, lower, and all these functions, right? And then we are just specifying the whole condition. If item's length is greater than or equal to 5, then only we are rendering that item, right?
Yeah,
um,
and an or also works here, right?
and an or
yes,
sorry,
they will work.
and an or, yes, that will also work, obviously. We can add and an or, that is just a part of condition.
Yes.
Now what will be the output? The output will be will have,
Harry and Jason.
yes, Harry and Jason. So let's see. Yes, Harry and Jason is the output. This is a very simple one. Okay, now this is okay, this is some theory. Let's move ahead. Now we are having a Python code, a Flask app, in which we have created an index route with the function square, where we are accepting some arguments, okay, in the value. um, okay, in value we are having, and okay, just one thing I want to know, what data type the value will have, like
This
some
will be a list of objects.
um, are you sure?
List of state.
No, the val. Um, the
Val
request
is
dot
list of
args,
strings.
what it will return?
It will definitely be a list.
No.
Of string. No,
It would a
Okay.
string.
No.
list of
Okay.
string.
Let me go to the. There was a question earlier, right? Yes, this one. And here also we were doing this, right? We are taking some arguments from the user and we were storing them in cred. What the data type will cred have? Based upon the usage of cred, we can see
Yeah, it's a dictionary.
dictionary,
Okay.
right? Okay, so the request.args, in request.args we get dictionary. Okay, not string, not list. Why dictionary? Like we have, again, if we go to this, so in dictionary we have key values, right? So this is kind of the pair. This will be the key and this will be the value. Okay, so this is how we will be having here a val num. That means there will be some key named num and we will have some value for that key. Now if like if the num is not provided, we can say, or if num is provided as an empty string, we are just saying enter a valid number. If it is an alphabet, then we are returning invalid number. Okay, and if it is a number at the end, okay, so request.args, what it do is it parse the whatever the data in the Python format. So that's why we get a dictionary, and it will automatically handle the data conversion, like whether the data input data is a number, float, or something. Okay, now what we are doing here, we are simply squaring it, right? But not exactly squaring it,
No, no, you are not squaring it. You are repeating four times.
right? Repeating four times, or we are just repeating the whatever number we are getting the same many times, right?
Right.
Now if we see the URL, this is the URL, localhost 5000, then we have the parameter here. See here again, now we have num equals 4. That will obviously give us 4 times. Why 4 times? Because we are just simply multiplying the 4 in 4 times. Okay, so again this is a very basic one. I hope it is clear to you all. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now the next one, logging. Okay, anyone knows what we use logging for? Like what's the purpose of logging? It's a very crucial important thing in programming whenever we create some projects and all.
Conceptually, it is
Logging is
storing
for
the.
access control.
Logging basically is it is kind of like we define some kind of, you can say, breakpoints, not exactly breakpoints, but like we have defined some 5-6 functions. We want to know when some specific function is ran and whatever, like what its return output is and what the input parameters are. Okay, so we do logging on them. That means we are kind of keeping an eye on them, and kind of we are having the data. So this is also kind of a logging which we get. Okay, whenever we run a server, these are what we call as our like request logs. Okay, or like our website logs. If you see someone is saying like check your logs, the website logs or something, this is what they refers to. So see here what we are having, the IP address from where we are getting the request, the date, time, and what the parameter is, and the this is the response, sorry, this is the request, and like what the response is there. Okay, and several other parameters are there which are right now dash dash dash. So like in future whenever you like let's say even in web apps we directly get the logging in output, but in some frameworks as well we get this. But in future whenever let's say you create some project or something, okay, you have multiple functions, you need to know like if there are some bugs in your code, what you can do is you can add some logging statements that whenever you run this function, whatever the input parameters are being passed or whatever the return value you are getting, you can log those values, you can store them in a log file. Okay, that you can analyze later and fix your code, rectify your code based upon that. So that is kind of what the purpose of logging is. Okay, we know like what actually is happening in the code. Now we are creating a logging, and the level of the logging is warning, and then this we defined is like some in a way like the highest level what can be. So there are multiple levels: info, warning, there is critical, and there are several other levels. So we are defining a warning level and the format how the log will be done. So first we will have the time, then the level name, and then the message. So here what we have done is we have created a function, and we're just checking whether that function is like, if it is having less than the value, if it is less than 0, then we are giving a value error. If not, then we are just simply logging it, that value added, whatever the value we have passed. Okay, and we are taking the input from the user. Okay, that is something interesting. And now, all right, then we are just calling this function, and we are handling this value error, but what we are raising exactly, and that is what we are handling in this logging.exception. If this function raises an error, this logging will be done. Okay, with the exception, you can say, not the exception, yes, it will be exception, and then this is the message: exception occurred, whatever the value which we have passed, like with the whole value error. Okay, now we have called this function, this Python file, python log.py -12. What do you think? What will be logged into the log file, or let's say what will be logged? Or instead of log, let's consider, let's say we have print statements instead of log. Then what will be printed?
Value added and the time, label name, and message.
Okay, but we are passing in negative, right? -12.
Yes, but we are converted into positive
We
in
are
the try
converting
block.
into,
And we are changing the sign
yes,
in
we
this
are
line.
changing the sign. So there is a little small dash that is kind of changing the whole code, right? If we do not have this, or if we ignore this at like just while looking at it, we may provide like mark a wrong answer. So now we'll get value added, like the format we will have is some time and info, because we are logging this information. Okay, we are calling the info function, info, and then the message will be value added and the 12. So okay, the output should be this one, right?
Right.
Why we are getting this? What will be the output on the terminal? Okay, if I write this code again, it will take a lot of time. Okay, the output should be the first answer. Why it is they have marked it as the last one, man? Weird. Okay, anyways, maybe they have marked it wrong. Now let's move to the next question. Okay, this is some bits calculating question. Let's move to the coding. Okay, now we are having the template from the string. Okay, um let me zoom in a little bit. Yes, from string import template, the template which we have defined is the animal jumped over the obstacle. Okay, we are creating the template here. Which of the following statements, when substituted in place of output, will throw a key error? Okay, by okay, if we just see the template, what are the keys which we need? Can anyone tell? Like, what are the placeholders? Okay, what are the placeholders here in this template?
Animal and obstacle.
Animal and obstacle. Okay, and the same way, like in the Jinja, when we are creating these placeholders, that means we are these placeholders will be the keys of some dictionary. Okay, like we will pass some dictionary and something, and or even let's say some variable as well, and in place of that key, the value of that key from the dictionary will be substituted there. Okay, so let's say if we create a dictionary with key animal equals lion and obstacle some wall, then we'll have like the lion jumped over the wall or something. Now it is asking in output, like in this print statement, which of the following code will give a key error. So we will get a key error if we do not define any of these keys, right? Is it clear, the question? Okay, we will get let's say I defined a dictionary with these two key value pairs. Okay, one key will be animal and the another will be obstacle. Then the template will work, right? Okay, let me get back to the previous question. There they have defined it. Okay, here. Now see, in this dictionary we have defined, right, var2 and var3, right? Now if I add if I run, let's suppose the if condition part will be executed here. Okay, then what will happen? What will be the output if this code will be executed?
Excuse me, I
Yes,
joined a bit late, so I'm getting confused in this part of string template. I am aware about Jinja template. So what
okay.
is this string template, and can if you
Just
could
that in
explain?
Jinja we have curly braces with the placeholder. In string template we have this dollar sign. Okay, this is the
Okay,
difference.
okay,
Rest
okay.
is same.
It will only replace this variable 2 and
Variable 2
variable
and variable 3, right? Let's suppose we remove variable 2 from the data dictionary. Then what will happen?
3 error.
Key error, because we are creating a placeholder. We have a placeholder for variable 2 which is not in the data dictionary. The same will happen in this case. Okay, so we were here. Now you guys, okay, see, now for animal and obstacle we have both of these keys in this template. That will not give us a key error. Okay, we have a save substitute function. Okay, what save substitute, based upon the call only we can see, we get an
I think
intuition that save substitute will handle the key errors. Okay, but normal
I think
substitute will not handle.
I think save substitute will replace the absent key with none.
Yes, it will replace it with some none or some value, right? If animal or both are not defined, then it will be a key error, right? So for the first one it will give us a key error. In fact, for the third one it will give us key error if we are calling the substitute function, not save substitute. And same way for the fourth one. Let's say we are using substitute function method instead of save substitute, then again it will give us a key error for the animal, right? Because we are having obstacle in place but not the animal. Okay, is this clear? um okay, what about others? I think बहुत सारे basics lag कर रहे हैं. No worries, guys, just one thing. uh Even after this, see, abhi you have around 2 days, right? In these 2 days just take one PYQ, that will be enough. Okay, whatever the code it is written, create a file for that, write the whole code. Okay, then whatever the question is saying, each and every option, just apply each and every option to the code and see what output you are getting. Okay, उससे आपको पूरा समझ आएगा what exactly is happening in the whole code. Okay, with that you will do, like, some practice will also happen and आपका पूरा आपका concept clear होगा. And again, if you have like some any doubt or something, you can ask me, or even you can ask some chat GPT perplexity as well. Okay, I hope you all, I guess you all use chat GPT, right? Even for GA answers maybe. Save substitute
Right.
makes a null or a default for all places. Okay, save substitute makes a null. Okay. Thank you, Rudransh. Okay. Now let's move ahead. Now we are having this from Jinja 2. The special series is okay. Now we have created a loop here. Okay, for n in range 1 comma 15. You guys tell me what will be the output. Okay, not पूरा output, आप first 3 digits भी बता सकते हो.
This is 1, 2, and 0. 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0.
1, 2, 0 or in the reverse order, like 0, 0.
First one is 1. That's
Okay,
right.
okay. First tell me what is happening here. Except Bhanu, can anyone explain what is happening in this Jinja code? Okay, in this Jinja we are having some Python. Okay, first we are running a loop for n in range 1 comma 15. The same way we run a loop in Python, and we are having this value. We are kind of rendering this value n / 3. What this is, like what we are doing here, which operation?
Integer division.
Yes, floor division, integer division, we can say, right?
Float operation.
Now n / 3, that means like whatever the decimal part we get, we will truncate that and we will only keep the integer part, right? So for n in range 1 comma 15, when we have 1 divided by 3 will be having some 0 point something, so we will keep, it will keep only 0. Then for the 2 as well, for 3 we will get 1, and for the further numbers as well, right? Okay, just a basic Python question. How many times this loop will run?
14.
Right, 14. Okay, this is clear. That's better. That is okay. So this will be the output. Basic है, आपको बस समझने की what this code is doing. Okay, so whenever we use this curly braces and percentage sign, this simply refers to that we are executing some Python code, okay, with some Python data. So here we are like n is the variable here and the range function we are using from Python and all. Now you just need to match the output. Okay, is it clear to you all? Again I'll say this, just copy this code, paste it in a file, run it on your own in your system, you will get the answer. ऐसे theory से answers वैसे नहीं मिलेंगे कभी भी. It will just confuse you more and more. Now let's move on to the next question. Consider there are two HTML files, index.html, login.html, for homepage and login page respectively. Which of the following will navigate the user between index.html and login.html? Okay. All right. So this is kind of, we are confusing the user, right? Okay, what is happening in this first code?
This is a wrong kind of anchor type because the attribute is wrong.
Link is for
That's
index.html, but we are giving a button or tab for return sign.
Right. And same way for the login, right? We are having home as the kind of
No, I think this SRC is incorrect because it should be
okay.
HS.
SRC is the file path which will be rendered. Home is the placeholder, the text which will be rendered. Okay. So this is the issue. What we are doing is we are confusing the user kind of. If user clicks on home, they will be redirected to login. If user clicks on
No,
sign in,
no. I think he will not be redirected because redirection should be HREF instead of this SRC.
yes, that is also a point. In anchor tag we have href, not src. Okay, source is there for javascript and other like javascript and css and other link file in the head tag mainly. Okay, Now the next one. Okay, this is what
This is what you
yes, what I just said, explained. When we click on home, we'll be redirecting to login, and when we click on sign in, we are redirecting to index.html. Now the correct one is this one. And what is wrong here? Again, the src. Okay, so in anchor tag, just remember this, we use href, not src. I just ignored it, and I don't know, I just ignored it, and I thought href is there and all. Okay.
sometimes happen.
हाँ.
It will look similar.
All right. So ये तो सबको क्लियर होगा. It's a very basic HTML code, है ना? Okay. In an open API. Okay, this is some again basic. Okay, now we are having this two ORMs. What will be the table name for these two models?
Letter in lowercase author and in lowercase book.
Book, right. And in author, how many columns we have?
3.
3. And in book we have 4, right? And we are creating a link as well, like a book will have some author which will be referenced by written by, right? So we are creating a kind of a foreign key to the author table, है ना? So this is what we are doing here. Now what kind of relation happens, a relation exists between author and book classes, and we are setting it as unique true. Can you tell us what kind of relation will be? It's kind of a theory question.
From which perspective? From the
Like
author's perspective or from the book perspective?
between author and book classes, from both of the perspective. Okay, if we take in the like this manner only, author and book, will it be one to one, one to many, or many to one,
Yeah.
One to
or
one.
many to? Yes, one to one.
Mhm.
Right. One to one, one book to one author relationship. Okay. And now the next question. Okay, we are doing some testing. That is interesting. How many of you have used this Pytest?
In
None.
this lecture, it was just copy and pasted our lecture, so it's skipped.
Okay. Just guys, run this. Make sure just copy this code in your Python. In create a file in your system. Write this code and run this once. Okay, with this obviously command, and just see what exactly is happening. Okay, how this test case code will run, how this will like evaluate the test cases and everything. This is a very important feature which we do while creating some softwares or something. Okay, we test the software. There is a like whole CI, like in the development side, whenever we are done with this, we do unit testing. Okay, we test the whole code whether there is any bug or something. So for that it is very important. Now we are passing pytest just file.py minus k test class. Okay, we are having two test class 0, test class 1. In one we are having these three functions. In this we are having this function, and I literally I have forgot this. I have not used pytest from a long time.
I think this in the test class 0, this third case will be failed.
Okay, just one thing. See, if we reference to this test class 0, okay, then these three functions will run: test case 1, test case test 2, case test 3. What it will what they will do is they will check whether if we call this function, we will get this answer, this return or return value or not. Okay, so this is just they are checking. If we get this return value, that means that test case is passed. If not, that means that test case is not passed. Now there is just some syntax way, like how you define exactly a test case. Okay, so I guess test case is possible, not case underscore test is possible. Let's see what the options we have. Okay, so we are getting, okay, 2 passed in some seconds. So 2 passed. What do we mean by two parsed? Okay. First of all, the thing is, whenever we create a test case, it should be in this manner: test underscore case, not case underscore test. Okay. So these two functions and this function, these are ambiguous function. We do not need them. Okay. Main function is this and this one. And we can create many functions like test underscore case 2, 3, 4, 5, any number. Okay. Now what we are doing is we are calling test underscore class. We are using this test class, but we have not specified 0, 1 or something. So eventually what will happen is it will use all the test case classes, test class, like it will basically we can say this, that it will do the testing on all the classes which we have in this manner, like test underscore class. So we have test underscore class 1, test underscore class 0. So if we check this one, if we pass, like if we call the function with parameters 1 comma 2, we will get 1 plus 4, which is 5 obviously. So this test case is passed. Then similarly here, if we call this function with 5 comma 2, we will get 25 plus 4, which is 29. Again this test case will be passed. So 2 out of 2 test cases will be passed. Okay. Then that's why we are getting 2 passed in 0.07. These are some seconds how long it took exactly. Okay.
In this question, I think the key point is only this.
This
Test should be
case
started
test.
with test.
Yes, we just need to remember the notation, and that again, if you do some practice, you will get the idea. And you can just simply pass it to ChatGPT and ask like, what is happening in the code, like is this code correct, or what are the kind of bugs, or like what are the issues in this code. Just use the LLMs extensively, okay, while understanding the code and everything. These are very useful. Okay, if you do not use them, you will obviously, that everybody says, right, AI will replace you, that will happen. Okay, now this is some interesting question. We have app.py, we are entering home.html. now home.html in home.html we are having these three tags, the mad1, mad2, dbms, basically this data, and we are extending base.html. Can anyone tell me what this like what this is? Extends base.html and something. What's the use of this?
Well,
Inheritance.
Yes, kind of inheritance. So like we create a base template and we use that base template again and again. What can be a good example? Let's say nav bars in a website. If you go to some, let's say if you go to some Amazon website, okay, again we take that example. If we see the nav bar is same, right, and if we open, let's say some this boat or something, if we open again, we are having the same nav bar, right? So what we can do is we can create a template, we can create a base template which is having the same nav bar throughout our whole web app. Okay, so that will then what will happen is, let's say you have defined 10 different web pages. You don't need to again write the whole code for navbar, the header and the footer. Okay, you can just use that base.html, extend that, and just write some code in the content block itself. So that's the purpose, that's the use case, and it is very, very, very useful. Okay, now this question is about styling, maybe or maybe not. Okay, so what we are having here is, okay, you guys tell me what output we will get eventually at the end based upon these two HTML files when we render home.html.
yes, H2 with this violet color, then paragraph mad1, then span, and then another
Right,
paragraph with DMS.
so we will get like 4 lines of output in the HTML, which is diploma courses, mad1, mad2, dbms. Are you guys clear with this? Basic inheritance is happening as Lalit said. Okay, what about others? बहुत शांति है बाकी सब में. Okay, thank you. And yes, this will happen eventually. Now this app.py, now there comes some interesting thing. What we are doing here even, can anyone tell us, are we defining a route or are we defining some API?
I think we define API.
Yes, we are defining an API. I guess there are 2 assignments in MAD 1 in which you need to use create RESTful APIs, right? Using this Flask RESTful and resource. How many of you have actually like written the code?
I have written that code in that
Great.
time in anyhow like this
Okay, but yeah,
intention.
still great. You have did it. Well, in MAD 1 and in MAD 2 specifically, you need to create APIs. And if you just do normal routes, you will get marks. But if you create APIs, you will get better marks, greater marks. Let's say some extra 5 to 10 marks. Okay.
Okay. In
So,
Metro, they will again teach this API thing.
yes, in MAT 2, what you will have is in backend, you will only use Flask, but in front end, you won't use Jinja, you will use Vue.js only. Okay. So
So
that
they
will be
will
the difference.
teach the API thing again.
No, they will just
No.
give a recap. Okay, mostly a
Okay.
recap.
Because in Med 1 they didn't teach this perfectly.
Yes, that is kind of something which is lacking. Okay. Now what we are doing here is we are creating a data API with this endpoint /endpoint. Okay, so this is the endpoint for this API, and we are having 2 methods. Again, as I said, there are multiple methods, broadly 4, and we are defining 2 methods. One is get, to get some data, to read some data kind of, and a post to create some data. Okay. And in APIs, what we do is we work with the JSON format. Are you all clear with the like JSON format? ये तो clear होगा, right? Okay. What about others? Have you ever have you written some JavaScript code in your life at once? Okay, I think I can show some JSON format example here.
It is very much similar to Python dictionary,
Yes,
except keys string.
right. JSON format is mainly of, okay, let me just show you JSON format, and this is the, okay, can I open this again here? So this is the JSON format. Okay, this is completely, it looks similar to Python, but it is not. In JSON we have the like keys with the double quotes. Okay, so this is kind of a requirement, and there are some other requirements as well. The full form of JSON is JavaScript type object notation. So in JavaScript, how we create objects, that is the way to create JSON structured data. Okay, so JSON is a way to create data, and like JSON is widely used in RESTful APIs. People also use XML, and there are some other formats as well. So mainly like people uses XML and JSON, and in modern day we only use JSON mostly. Okay, so the JSON format, again we will have some, we will get some dictionary from request.json. Okay, and that JSON will be the dictionary itself, and we are having some key name and some key mail, and we are creating a data, and we're just saving the data here. This is what we are doing. And we have defined the whole class, but we need to link it to some endpoint. That is what we are doing here, api.add resource. I cannot tell everything in just one session about the whole. I thought that you are clear with these basics and all. इफ यू आर क्लियर, आपको पूरा कोड इजीली समझ आ रहा होगा. Now, okay, before the first one, okay, abhi ignore the first one, tell me about second one. Ignore this curl minus x, just see what we are doing here is we are calling this URL, we are requesting this URL with the get, we are creating a get request. Okay, what output will we get? Anyone?
This data info object.
Yes, this data info object in JSON format. And this is kind of how we create a post request using curl. Curl is a command line tool to do multiple requests to the web pages and URLs. Okay, so we are creating the post request, and in post we pass in some data, right? We are providing name and email, like here you can see Javed and some javed@study.iitm.ac.in. And this is in the JSON format, so that is what we are specifying here. The content will be of JSON, application/JSON. Okay, and accept type means it will accept JSON in the response. Okay, so like we are getting here save data comma 200, that will in the JSON, and then we are just doing a post request into the same URL. Then what will happen is, okay, you guys tell me what will happen if we do a post request.
It will just throw this object that we provided.
Yes, it will just, okay, it will just pass this object to the post function, kind of, and it will create a data dictionary, and that data dictionary will be added into data info. And then if we call the second part, what will happen? How many records do we get? After doing a post request?
Only two. Only two.
Only?
Only two. Name and email.
No, how, like, what will be the length of this data info
Yes,
after
it
doing
will
this
be
post?
increased, but in the at the end, we only calling this data.
Uh,
This post function.
no. If we like, okay, how can I show again? I need to write the code and all. See, earlier, if we just do a get request, we'll get this data only. Okay, and if we first do a post request, that means we are creating some data. Then data info mein we will have two dictionaries. Okay, one with the IITM name and another with the Javed name. And then if we call the get request, we will get data info. That list will contain two dictionaries, two objects, JSON objects, we can say. Okay, the first one will
Yes.
be the IITM and the second one will be the Javed one. So they are asking if we run these two commands in the same sequence, like first we do the post request, then get request. So we will get this as the output. The first option, like the first dictionary and the second dictionary which we have just created. Okay, and yes, that's it. We do not get like something like this or this. Okay, now, okay, this is some bandwidth question. This is an interesting question. We have, like, in HTML we have a content 1, content 2, content 3. Three like data we have. In body tag we have 3 tags, 2 span tags and a paragraph tag. We have defined the styles in style.css file. This is the CSS file. Okay, what this hash one means? ID. Okay, and this dot? Class. What is the difference in ID and class?
In what perspective?
And in HTML perspective?
In an HTML perspective, ID can be unique. ID must be unique.
Yes, IDs are unique and classes are not unique. We can use a same class in multiple elements, but we can use one ID in only one tag. Okay, so that is the difference in ID and class. In HTML we define IDs and class in this manner, and in CSS and in JavaScript we refer to them in this manner. Okay, hash means id, a dot means class. Okay, now this question is about the importance of like which style will get the importance. You guys tell me, what about content one? What like what color it will have, the content one?
Blue.
Okay, uh blue.
Right.
Okay, what about others? So we have around 14 people. I should get at least 2 to 3 responses, or 5 or 4 5 responses. What do you think? What color will we get in this content one? Okay, blue. Anyone is saying some red or green? Okay, no. All right. Yes, we will get blue as here because a hash one we have defined, and with the color blue. So content one will be of blue color. Then this paragraph tag, it is having class s2 and id s2 as well. Okay. Now you guys tell me, which one has the preference over it, id or class?
ID.
Id, right? So let's say we have this class and this id. What color this content2 will have, red or green?
Green.
Okay, what about others? Anyone is saying red or blue in content2? What color will we have? Why green? Okay. Okay, what answer, what will be the answer according to you? Violet. Okay. There is this violet as well, right? Okay. So the answer would be violet. And why violet? Again, the precedence comes here. The precedence applies like in a manner. First we do the style, inline style, and then the style tag. Okay, then ids, and then classes, and there is important as well. So let's say in this, like, I have added multiple classes. Each class will have multiple colors. Okay, but I want he red color he lage. Okay, doesn't matter whatever classes we will have. Okay, I want red color should be applied to this content too. What I will do is I'll add slash important in the css, the same way we are adding slash important in violet. But why we are getting violet, why we will get violet? Because it is defined kind of, this is the case of precedence. Okay, style tag will get more preference than the external css file. So this is what is happening. Okay, this is the case of a preference or precedence, we can say. And on
Yes,
3,
but the ID will overcome all of them.
no,
No,
no, no, important will overcome all of them. Okay,
important is more preferred than ID.
yes, important is highly important. We cannot, like, when we say na, like something vip, so this is
Yes,
kind of a
kind of.
vip we are creating. Okay, now what color does content 3 will have? Very basic answer,
Green.
green, right? Okay, I have created this flow as well. Just one thing. Yes, so see,
And after that,
inline style, like when we do some kind of this, right? If we set div style color equals red, this will have the highest priority. Okay, then we have important slash important, and then we have id, this hash, then we have class, then we have some attributes. Like in input tag we have various attributes, like it can be text, it can be email, it can be password. So these are some attributes. And some pseudo classes, like when we hover an element, or when we click a button, what will happen? The importance with the rank is given here. Okay, and I will share this table, this whole markdown file with you guys, okay, in a pdf hopefully. Okay, at the end of the session, so you all can reference to it during the exam. Okay, and so, by the way, you guys can read it once, and if you have any doubt you can ask.
right, this important is on the second piece, and I
Yes.
thought it would be third. Hmm. Thank you.
Okay.
It is
Now,
clearly my
okay, now we are having this one. Okay, for first we have created a Python app with slash greet slash some name. We are greeting the user with the hello name, and then we have created a Pytest to test this Python app. What we are doing is we are creating a GET request. Okay, we are requesting this URL with iitm. What output should we get here? If we like
hello IITM.
hello iitm, hello comma space iitm, right? Is this clear to you all? Yes, hello iitm. And now it is just testing assert get response dot text. That means the response should be this. If it is if the response we get is this, that will show like test cases passed. If not, then it will show test cases failed. Okay, now executing the command. Okay, assume that app.py are running on two different all are required. Which of the following commands statements are true? Executing the command python app one passed, one failed, one selected, one passed, one deselected. Okay, what do you think? What will be the output? Just a very basic intuition, you can say. Or what cannot be the output? Just tell me. Let's do with the like elimination method. Second is possible.
Okay, this question is only one of them is possible. Huh?
Which of the
And we have
following statements below statements, so it can
okay,
be more
okay.
than one. What do you think about the second one first? Like one failed, this is not possible, right? Because hello
Right.
iitm we will get, and one deselected, this is also some kind of a suspicious thing. We cannot get, like we have like added a decorator here, pytest.fixture something. Output can be either one and or three. Okay, I think the first will be the output. Let's see. Okay, only statement one is correct. So with the elimination method, if we go, we can either do this or this, and then just if we run this code in our local, then हमें clarity हो जाएगी what exactly is happening. This
I think the
selected,
select is nothing in this
yes, it is not, we are not selecting something here or any kind of specific, we have not specified any kind of selection or something. Okay, so we will get first as the output, right? No selection is happening. Now this is again a theory question. This is again a theory based question. It's a basic relation we are created. Okay. It is also HTML and all. And okay, this is another. Now we have, okay, we have created two routes, slash library slash student, which student we are passing username and roll number. Okay, and we are taking the username, and username's dashboard is what we are displaying. Okay, now they are asking, given that text request context allows text to be printed on the terminal. Okay, which of the following statements are correct? So if we like with this code, whatever the output whatever the return we will get after calling these routes, we will get them as in the output in the terminal. Okay, it will be printed in the terminal, like the select your course or username's dashboard. Now if print statement is replaced by print URL for home, okay, this is how we need to, maybe not sure about this. If we, okay, URL for home, user mat2, is there any home URL endpoint? No, right?
no URL for home means this function had.
The home okay, this home function, yes, we are passing some user, but it is not taking some user or something, right?
Right.
So we will get select your course, not this. And if we are passing, okay, home comma user and the output, okay, so we will get the URL here, not allows text to be printed, allows URL to be printed, not text. We will get the URL as the output, like what the final URL will be there. Okay, so these are obviously, these are just some parameters. Again, if you do some Jinja and all mad one project, if you do, आपको idea लग जाएगा कि what is happening here. Like we are calling the home function and we are passing these parameters, okay, in the same way, this manner, okay, just that we have defined in Python. So in Python we create keyword arguments in this manner. So this is what we will get, like instead of slash mad1, because we have not created any specific string user or something, so this will be considered as a parameter. Now okay, for this also dashboard, if we go for dashboard function, it is taking username and roll number and returning username's dashboard. Now if we pass in username roll number term, we will not get this, we will instead get this one, because username and roll number are there in the URL, but the term is not there. So we will get term as the parameter, okay, not in the path. So not in the not as the endpoint, we can say. So this is what is happening. As function it just passes out the parameter with question. Yes, also like this is having username, right? So it will consider all the rest of them as the not the exactly rest of them, but yes, whatever we pass in except the username and roll number, it will consider all the other things as an the arguments, or we can say keyword arguments, okay, like slash term equals Jan 2024. Again, this is something practical which we should do. Okay, we have this Pytest again. Test case 1 2 3 4 for square function. We're just squaring this. If you check this, now on running this file using Pytest, summary of output is 1 passed, 3 deselected, 4 warnings. Okay, which one is
We are
passed?
summing the from
Yes,
0 to x.
from 0 to x, right? So we're not exactly squaring, and that will happen for which one? I guess 4, right? If we go for 4, we will get the sum as 4, right? For test case 2, like if we pass in 4 here, it will run from 0 1 2 3, and the sum, okay, not for the 4,
Or will be
400, no, for 5 5, the sum, it is basically simply doing the sum. Okay, let's just,
4 count.
so if we do for 5, so 0 1 2 3 4, that will be
4 into 5 to the 2 means 10.
yes, that will be 10, and for the 10 we are getting 100,
It's a way 55.
right? Not 55, not 55, it should be 45.
N into n plus 1 by 2. Okay, okay. It
We
will
are
end
going till x, not including x, right? Now square of 6, that will also not happen. Okay, let's see the options. Okay, okay, one passed. What command will result into the outcome given above? Okay, so we need this output, from which of the command we will get this. Marker 2 and marker 4. But the code is the code doing this? Okay, we are just summing the x again and again. Okay, all right.
oh
We are
no,
not
it's
summing the
no
counter.
counter.
Yes,
Yes.
again a basic
So
mistake.
it's multiplying.
Yes, so it is multiplying. Yes. Okay.
The
Now,
first one will be pass.
hmm,
3 will be passed.
Yes. Now for marker 4, if we do 6, so obviously 0 plus 6 plus 6, okay. That is returning in the first case, in the first run only, so we will get 6
Okay.
here, and
Okay.
here we
Okay.
will
It
get
is. It is not
4.
squaring. I think it
Yes,
is
it
just multiply one into less than that.
no, what is happening is we are like initialized the variable with 0, and when we are running the loop we are just adding that number in sum and instantly we are returning it, okay, within the loop itself. So sum is basically having the same number as x, okay, because sum was initially 0 and the loop is running only once because we are returning and in the first try, first iteration only. So the square 4 will work and square 6 will work, okay. This will not work and this will not work. So marker 2 and marker 4. So we are returning yes. Then for the marker 4 and marker 2 we will get 1 passed,
One
right?
pass. And,
3 deselected, that means like we are passing these markers, right? So that means like if we have passed marker 4, that means these 3 are deselected, and 4 warnings are there that I don't know exactly what are the warnings. Again, some intuition, and if we run this code we'll get like exactly what is happening. Now the next one, file.py. Okay, great. So we have this importing sys module, we have a courses dictionary. What we are doing is we are checking whether the third argument, or with the index we say second argument, is appdev or not, like in appdev 3. So user can, if user enters appdev, that will this will also make the condition true, right? If user enters appdev 1, then also this condition will be true. If user do appdev 2 or appdev 3, then also this condition will be true. Am I right? Okay, not the input exactly, but 1, 2 or 3. For like if user enters something like this course 4, okay, not 4, like python file.py course, and then let's say 1, then also this condition will be true. If user do for 2, then also this condition will be true, and if user do for 3, then also this will be true. Now, so this is what we are having here. What is the output? What do you think? What will be the output for python file.py course 4? The 4 is the argv2. So like the key is 4, okay. For the key 4, devops is the value. Devops is not in appdev, so we will go to the else condition and we'll get no course found as the output, okay. Is it clear? छोटा सा code है, just that we need to understand how it is working. Okay, so what is, okay, which one will have this argv2? Which value will be there for argv2? Can anyone tell?
Yes, 4.
4, right? Now this 4 is we are converting this 4 into integer and we are passing this as a key in courses dictionary. So the key value for 4 key is devops, right? है ना?
Right.
So if user pass 4, then this condition will be false and we'll get no course found. If user passes 1, 2, 3, okay, then we will then this loop will run, right? है ना?
Right. Right.
And then this loop will run from 1 till whatever the user has passed, like if user has passed 1 or 2 or 3, okay. So for 4, like if we write if we call our file.py, if we run our program with the parameter course or the arguments course and 4, we will get no course found because this condition is not like the if condition is false here. Now for the second question, if we do course 1, what do you think? What will be the output? 1 is being passed here in argv2. What will be the output? Anyone? Okay. Course found. Okay, course found. How many times do we get? Yes, app-dev1 only. Okay, because we are passing one and this loop is running only once. Okay, so we will get course found app-dev1. Okay, that is it. Now let's move to the next one. Let's do it a little faster. I guess most question will be same, so we'll skip those questions. So these are some theory based questions and all. By the way, this was the Jan 2024 and this is May 2024 term paper. Okay. Okay. फटाफट से आप लोग मुझे बताओ which of the following will be the correct command to the input. Okay, we want this as the output. What command should we give in the like what हमें क्या command डालनी चाहिए in terminal so that we get this output like python code.py, then what should we add? Okay. All right, मैं थोड़ा सा easy question पूछता हूँ. Vars will have the arguments, right? What arguments will it have if I just run python code.py? What will be the length of vars if I just write python code.py? Like this. Let's say if I just did this python 3 code.py, what do you think? What vars will contain?
Code.py.
Code.py, right? Whatever we pass here in the next, that will be considered as a single element, right? Separated by spaces. So vars will be a list of one element if we do this. Now this if condition will only run when len of vars is more than 2. That means if we pass two arguments, then also this condition won't be satisfied. If we pass only one argument, that is the file name, this condition will not be satisfied. If we pass 2-3 arguments, like more than 2 arguments like this or something like this, then this condition will be true. Am I right? Okay. Now this condition will not so they are saying when we will get this output. We will get this output when we are having either when we are just running this command, or we are running this command with just one more argument. Okay, so something like please specify a valid course name. Okay, so code.py course python code.py. Okay, so here we are passing 3 arguments. Okay, so this condition is being satisfied. Now the second part is vars2 in course technologies. So vars2 but okay, it will have python javascript python backend. Okay, vars2 in course technologies. In this dictionary it will check for what, like the keys or the values?
Only for keys.
Only for keys, right? So for what which of the like keys we will get, please specify a valid course name. Like we are having python javascript and backend. So for the backend, if we pass in backend, right, backend is not the key here in course technologies. So this condition will be false and we will get please specify a valid course name. This condition will only be true when we either run any of these three code, right? Is this clear, guys? Okay. This is the same question. Okay, this is an interesting question. So margin, border, padding, height, width, there are a lot of things. Which of the following figure correctly represents? Okay, so outermost layer पे क्या आता है in the like in an element, in a style? Margin. Okay, after that
Border.
border, right? So kind of we can say an anatomy of, like, let's say this, okay, sorry, let's say this is the whole web page, okay, and we have some div, something like this, okay. So with this div, what we'll have here, okay, let me create one more. Okay, let me just simply write, okay, I'll write this content in a box so that आपको और clear हो. Content, and okay, great. Now this area, okay, let me mark it with red, okay, this area, this outermost area, like whenever we define some margin na, it will come in the outermost layer, okay, and this thing, this is the border, okay, like how thick the border should be, what color of the border should be, how round the border should be, and this area, like the inside area of that particular element, अगर यहाँ पे कोई space है ना, that space can either be the padding of that element or the margin of this element, okay, it can be any of these, or for this case let's make it simpler कि हमारे पास यही है this, okay, and this is just simple background color, let's say we have, if I just give it some color, so let's say okay, I'll give this as the color, okay, so this is the background color, okay, this is the background color which we have, and this is the padding, and then we have the border, and then we have the margin, okay. So this is how in each element we create all these things, like the padding, border, margin, and everything, and left, right, top, bottom, we have all four sides, so that's why we can do in these manner. So they're just like simply asking which one is matching with this configuration, so हमें बस match करना है, okay. So see, inside obviously that will contain some width, right? So this is some of some width and height, so this is what they are asking, like here width is defined as 2000 pixels, height is 200 pixels, so width comma height, then padding left is there, so we have this padding left 10, and we have border width as 5 pixel, so this is the border, like अगर border को हम बहुत ज़्यादा wide कर दें, that border will eventually look like some kind of a, like it will look like some kind of a space or padding we say, but it will remain the border, okay. And then we have some margin right as 15, so here we have the margin. We just need to like select which one is validating with this configuration. Is this easy? I hope ये easy होगा. If you just create some elements in an HTML file and just work with some CSS, आपको पूरा clear हो जाएगा, okay. And then we have this, and okay, again where a where b, all right. Okay, this is just some map question. Let's move further. Okay, let's do one more of this question. What span will have? What color and the background color this span will have? This first span.
Aqua.
Background color.
Aqua.
Okay, and what about the color? Or what
Blue.
properties this span will have? The background color will be aqua. What about other things?
Other things will come from the different parts of this CSS. So the color will be
The color will be red
blue,
or blue?
blue, blue.
Blue. Okay. Why blue? Because ID has the more importance than class, right? And it will also have a border, and it will have like the display as inline block, okay. So just the thing is, There is a difference, like there are certain elements, right? Header, h1 and all the things, and there are two kinds of more elements. One is div and other one is span. Anyone knows the difference in these two? Okay,
The div is block
yes,
and
div
the
is
span
block.
is inline.
So let's say okay, let's say this is our web page. Okay, this is our web page. If I create a div now, let's say what I did, I have written, okay, if I create some div like this, div and something, okay, that will cover whole width. Okay, and if I create some span, that will cover only the required width, whatever the width it their content requires. Okay, अगर मैंने दोनों पे I have written param, okay, they will take the whole 100% width, but the span will take only the width required for this param. Okay, so this is the difference between div and span, and div is a block element and span is a inline element. And yes, there was the dotted was also, no, border style is solid. So see, this border is solid. If you see now, this is the border, the yellow one, this whole.
I think the border style will not show in this kind of figure.
um yes, border is, no, border is solid. If it would be dotted ना, तो ये पूरा यहाँ पे ऐसे dot dot होती in this whole 5 pixel. Okay, not in this man, in this only. So yes, so span will have some kind of this, right? The 2 pixel solid purple border, the color will be blue and background color will be aqua. Then we have a span with the class, so that will have these three things. Okay, background and these other things. And the last span tag, it will contain these, it will use these styles. Background color is yellow and color is red. Basic thing, just that आपको थोड़ी, if you do some practice you will get the clarity. Is it clear how this output is there? Okay, okay. Okay, this is just basic in operations. We have done many Flask questions. This is also we have done. This is also we are done with. We have done a question like this. Was second not correct? Okay. Can you see this inline block? And there is also this width 20%. So what is happening is, okay, let's say what I did, I created a, okay, I created a span, or okay, by default span is having span is inline element. So whatever width we define now in percentage, or like in percentage whatever width we define, it will not, it does not render that width, it will only take the width, required width. Okay, but with this id what we are doing is we are converting this inline into inline block. So what it means is it will not take entire width as well as it will not take the required width. It will take the width, whatever width we have specified. So we have specified 20% of the width. Okay, so that is why, like, if you see in the whole page, so this is kind of taking 20% width and rest 80% is there. Okay, so that's why this is true and rest of these are false. In class we have width 22, but in class, like in the second span, what we are having is inline, the span is still inline. Okay, for this id we are having it is an as an inline block. So this is the difference merely. All right, um now is it clear? I hope. Okay, so this is the same thing and again same thing, like we have created a API or something. Okay, all right, we have the template. Okay, this is an interesting question. Let's do this question and then we'll like conclude the session. Okay, this is a Flask app we have defined with a profile. Okay, what we are doing is we are getting that access key or access parameter in the URL. If user has provided like if employee of access, okay, whatever the value of access, if it is there in these key na, like if we set access equals admin or access equals user, access is not equals to user. Okay, got it. So what is happening is, okay, मैं इसको ना थोड़ा ऐसे
The test for invalid keys in the first
yes,
condition.
okay, what is happening here is let's suppose the URL which we have is something like this. Okay, 5000 slash profile slash, let's say, Sumit. Okay, now user here is Sumit, right? And we also have a parameter called access in which we have added Manoj. Okay, so now the value of access is Manoj. Okay, not Manoj, sorry, access is, if let's say I have written here access as admin. Okay, so access will have admin, user will have Sumit. Okay, ये सबको clear है? Is this clear? I hope ये clear होगा. Like with this URL, the Sumit is the user which we are passing in the path, and the access, the parameter of this access key is admin. Okay, so we are having these things. Is this clear, guys? Itna? Now we are just if it is clear, then this is just if else condition. If okay, what is the doubt you are having exactly, or like should I explain it again? Okay, all right, so you guys tell me what will be the output here. What not output, okay, you guys tell me whether the if condition will be true or whether this return statement will be executed. Which return statement will be executed, the if one or the outer one?
Outer one.
Outer one, okay. And if I set access as user, then
Sorry. In that case, in this if condition.
okay, so what we are having is user is Sumit. Okay, access is user. So when user is not, when employee of user, when Sumit is not equal to Sumit, then we are rendering this condition. Okay, so in this case outer return statement will render, okay, with the error equals false. Okay, so this is checking this if condition will the return statement inside the if condition will be executed when we provide the access to like a different role, but the person which we are having is a different. Okay, so this is the thing, like with Sumit and admin, this condition will be true, like admin, employee of admin, is Manoj is not Sumit, right? So then what we are doing is we are rendering this template with error equals to true. But when we are doing Sumit and user, then this condition is false, and we are rendering this profile.html with error false, or we can do vice versa, like Manoj and let's say admin. This will also give us this return statement, render template profile.html with error as false. Is it clear, guys?
Right.
Okay. Okay, just that we are matching the user and the role name, like whether that user is an admin or user. Okay, the name and the key we are matching. If the name and the key is matched with this dictionary, then we are rendering the outer return statement with error false. If this does not match with this dictionary, then we are just simply returning this profile.html with error as true. Okay, so now tell me, for this Sumit acts as admin, which of the return statement will be executed? We have like Sumit as the user and access as admin.
Outer.
Are you sure?
Sumit. Okay, no, no. Sumit is user. Inner one.
Inner one, right? So we will get kind of this if error will be true. Hi user, access denied. So hi Sumit, admin access denied. This access denied. Okay. थोड़ा सा क्वेश्चन ऐसा था कि we just need to understand how it is working and then we are clear with this. Okay, we are having these home index and all. Okay. Yes, a basic thing. If we have these three files and if we just open the like directory in let's say in some browser, which one of the file will render, or none of them will render? What do you think? Which will render or will get like empty thing, some
Index.
index?
All of them will be rendered and it will depend on the server. And but
No.
majority of the
No.
server contributes is
No.
index.html.
Okay, let me show you in this manner. Let's say what I'll do
No,
here.
yes, I understand what you are going to say.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, many servers configure themselves differently. If you
Okay.
configure it, take the default one is main.html, it will be
Mm-hmm.
rendered to main.html
Yes. Okay.
because all of them are default names.
Right. Okay. So see, we do not have any index.html right now. If I let's say if I create an index.html ना, we like I have not reloaded it yet. So यहाँ पे अभी दो ही files हैं and I'll write let's say hi. Okay, it is there and let me reload this. So we have index.html. It should get render. Okay, with file I guess
Yes,
should get render.
you should run a server.
Yes, I should specify this file. Uh, okay, it is there.
You should run
We
it
don't
like a
need to
server.
run a server in. Okay. Generally it happens. I okay in server maybe it happens by default.
Because it is a configuration of the server, not the file.
Yes. So by default index.html will render. Okay.
No, if you
Uh,
place this home.html, not
uh,
index and then home will also render
okay.
in some servers.
Okay. But
Like
generally
PHP.
index is render as far
No,
as.
they all three names are default files. In PHP, this index.html is always preferred.
Yes.
But if it is absent, then main. If it is not absent, then home.
Right.
It's very server to server.
Oh yes. Okay. Now let me just open it again. Sorry. Yes. So we have this index.html file here, right? Let me just run a server here. Open with live server. I hope now maybe Firefox will open. Yeah. So let me just close it and see. So we have this server, and even if I remove this, now we are just having this hi. Okay. And if I let's say rename this index.html with the main.html or something and run this, so see now what we are getting is we are getting the like all the files, and if we set home then also it won't work. Okay, in the case of index only it will work. If I rename it to index like this, and if I
Yes,
reload the
right.
server, then
But
we'll
in
get hi.
Apache, the main is also considered as a default file.
Okay.
I tested it years back.
Okay. For Apache I don't know exactly. Okay, so all right, then again some test case, and this also we have done. this is again the same. Okay, so then I guess we should conclude the session because we are getting the same question. And one thing, I'll share this PDF with you guys. Okay, this is having just like some important things for HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Flask and Jinja.
हेलो
Plus this.
एक चीज
Yes,
पूछना था
yes, yes.
वो PYQ कहाँ से डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं ये दूसरा सब्जेक्ट का भी डाउनलोड करना था तो कहाँ से डाउनलोड कर सकते
Okay, there is a link exactly. I don't have the link. Let me check once. There is a sheet people shared, so let me just find that sheet.
1 minute. Let me share this for all of you. There is a website called wishpractice.space. You can find
No,
on
no,
your
no. There is a
Google.
sheet which I guess maintained by like the a lot of previous term members. Okay, I got the sheet. Let me share in my PC. So to device. Okay, I would should get it here. Yes, open a new tab. So this is the sheet where we can see all the PYQs. Okay, for foundation, for diploma, for degree. So I'll share this sheet. From here you can access all the PYQs for all the subjects. Okay, this is it.
Thank you Bhanu, thank you Param.
Yes, all right. Actually the thing is a lot of websites are created by users like us students, right? So we do not keep kind of the previous, let's say 2022, 2023 and all. So it is maintaining from all the terms, I guess. Yes, from May 2023. So this is kind of like the thing. Okay, welcome guys, and yes, just one thing, I'll share this PDF, this markdown PDF with you all. Okay, and thank you so much for attending the session. I know that your
Where can we
session.
find this PDF? How you share it?
Yes, I'll share it in. Okay, I'll upload this session in the YouTube, and in the video description, I'll share the link. Or okay, I have created a feedback form. In the feedback form, I'll like link it. Let me link it right now. Drive.google.com. This. If I get this, maybe. Okay, just a second. 5, okay. Okay, I'll just share this here, a markdown file. I'll convert it to a PDF and I'll share it with you. Export PDF or HTML only. Okay, just MD2P. I don't know. Do I have the? Will it work? Yes, that PDF needs to be there. Just a second, guys. Okay. Till then, I'll share this and I'll add the link in the this feedback form. It would be helpful for me if you guys like fill this feedback form. Like I'm planning more sessions for more subjects and like some more things. So if I get some idea or like something from you which you guys need, I'll like plan the sessions accordingly. Okay. And thank you so much for attending. And one thing, one tip I just want to give you guys is like in the end term, use pen and paper and just like uh, create these diagrams and all this just so that आपको और clarity मिले. Okay, what is actually happening, and this subject is more of a practical subject. In these 2 days, try to do as much as practice as possible. Okay, so that would
भैया
be
MLT
beneficial.
के लिए कोई टिप है क्या MLT को भी वैसे ही प्रीवियस ईयर करने से
Um,
अच्छा रहेगा
for MLT, just practice. Similar to Stats 2 and Maths 2, just practice as much as possible. Okay.
ओके ओके
All right. And thank you guys for attending, for staying till now.